Hello and welcome to Territory Sport, and a big welcome to Optus Rugby Park right here in Darwin. Round 4 in the Australian Rugby Shield competition, and the Adelaide Black Falcons in town to take on the Darwin Mosquitoes. Tough conditions here, especially for the visitors. Certainly the Mosquitoes will be favoured. It's the dry season in the top end, but the conditions are pretty tough. And leading up to this match, there's been some terrific matches in the first 3 rounds of competition. Let's check it out. The Darwin Mosquitoes opened their 2005 Australian Rugby Shield campaign with a thrilling 19-17 victory over the Melbourne Axemen. Darwin scored 2 tries late in the first half to go to the break 12-17. The score remained the same until the last moment of the match when John Sullivan forced a turnover on a Melbourne scrum on the home side's try line. Joseph Egan scored, and Rob Davis's conversion clinched the 3rd victory over the Axemen in 6 ARS contests. In orange, the visiting Adelaide Falcons were keen to start well against the current holders of the Shield. The first try went to Cooper, giving New South Wales an early 7-3 lead. New South Wales went to the break up 20 points to 10, but Adelaide crept back in the game as understudy halfback Troy Doherty saw some space behind the ruck. Penalty goals to each side won. After this yellow card offence to Falcons fullback Kurt McGinley, and the score 23-all before a match-winning break in the dying moments by winger Francis Fainafo saw him sprint 60 metres to victory for the New South Wales Cockatoos. In the other round 1 game, Perth Gold were too strong for the Queensland Country Healers, downing them 19-12. In round 2, the Mozzies came crashing back to earth in Bundaberg with a 50-15 loss against Queensland Country. Missed tackles and a lack of urgency at the breakdown saw the home side lead 43-0 at half-time. The Mosquitoes improved in the second half, outscoring the opposition by 3 tries to 1, but they were unable to get a 4th and secure a much-needed bonus point. The New South Wales Cockatoos continued their push towards another Australian Rugby Shield title under lights at the Harlequin Rugby Club in Melbourne. This kick and chase ensured the Cockatoos went to a 10-6 lead at the break. The Axemen's confidence must have been sky high. 10 minutes into the second half, 5'8" Paul Aubrey put fullback Todd Cornford away in the corner, narrowing the gap to 2. The Cockatoos then exerted their dominance when lock Adam Winter attracted the defence before getting this dubious pass to Josh Cliff. With the score at 20 points to 11, missed penalty goals by Melbourne's Anton Pilley were costly. But this huge hit by replacement Tim Carney from Bowral jolted the ball loose, setting up the chase for Leif Cooper and Paul Aubrey. Try New South Wales. The Cockatoos scored on full time. The final match of round 2 was played at Adelaide's Glen Eagles Reserve in Woodville. Perth Gold capitalised on a mixed performance by the Adelaide Falcons to win the match 38 points to 23. Perth Gold has run in 7 tries to 1 to defeat the Darwin Mosquitoes 43-10 in round 3 of the Australian Rugby Shield in Perth. Perth Gold forced their way to the top of the table with an impressive display over the Mosquitoes, highlighted by a hat-trick of tries to fullback Ryan Lenigan and doubles to winger Justin Webster and replacement back Greg McKenzie. For Darwin, Marty O'Brien scored their only try. Despite enjoying some good possession, it was the Mosquitoes' defence that let them down. At Dangar Park, Narrabri, Frankie Finino increased the Cockatoos' lead after fending off the attempted tackles of both Queensland centres. The Cockatoos' 3rd try and the 2nd to open side flanker Ross Duncan sent the locals to a convincing 21-11 lead. New South Wales fullback Shane Collins was yellow carded late in the first half after repeated ruck infringements. That opened the door for the Healers to hit back. A quick tap from halfback Christian Lago caught the opposition unawares, 21-16 at the break. With only 5 points the difference, the Healers nipped back in the 75th minute. Replacement winger David Nolan received a beautiful pass from Corey Niwa to skirt down the touchline. In the other match, the Melbourne Axemen secured their first win of the Shield with a closely fought 27-20 win over the Black Falcons in Adelaide. To the competition ladder after round 3, Perth Gold unbeaten with 14, New South Wales Country and Queensland Country hold 2nd and 3rd position, then Melbourne, Darwin with 1 win over the Axemen, and Adelaide yet to have a win. Well, the competition's been good and the standard has been high at Shield level, and we'll expect no less today. Should be a pretty good game. Brian Anderson joining me. Brian, we're looking forward to this one.
Very much so, Charlie. It should be a very good game, very important game for the Mozzies. They can still keep their finals aspirations in contention with a win. If they lose today, they're at the bottom of the ladder. So Adelaide will be keen to get off the bottom of the ladder.
And the Falcons come here to play in pretty tough conditions. It's been warm.
It's very warm today, Charlie, and I think they'll be looking for the odd water break during the game.
All right, let's check out the other matches in round 4. There are other matches.
Queensland Country take on Melbourne. Queensland Country are much better this year than last year's campaign. They'll be too good for Melbourne, I would think. And that's the 1 versus 2 there, New South Wales Country versus Perth. That game will be a beauty.
All right, earlier today, Tammy Devine caught up with both of the coaches. First of all, the Mosquitoes coach, Tony Bundock.
Now, after 3 rounds of play, it seems that the Mozzies are doing really well in the second half of the game. What strategies have you put in place to try and get that consistency across the whole game?
It's very hard because the competition's so quick to change too much. What we've tried to really focus on is probably speeding it up a little bit in the first game. We tend to find at the moment sides have been scoring against us pretty early, so we've done a fair bit of work this week on defence to try and stop that. I think one of the reasons we do come well in the second half is we've been the fitter of the sides, and that's shown, and we're sort of hopefully relying on that a little bit in this game, and the heat also to bring us home hopefully in the late part of the first half and the second half.
So specifically for Adelaide, which area will you be targeting? Taking it up in the forwards or looking at the backs?
Probably early on in the forwards to tire them out a bit, and probably later on we might make a couple of tactical changes in the backs and probably get the ball wide. Probably our idea would be to spin the ball wide early to tire them out. Obviously, coming from Adelaide, they're not going to be used to the mild 30-degree days that we get in Darwin, so hopefully that's going to be part of our play to use the climate a little bit as well as tactics.
Tony Bundock, he's a very astute coach. He plays the cards pretty close to his chest. And Brian Anderson, there's the Mosquitoes team. Nothing too much there that surprises us.
No, it's a good side, and worth the viewers having a note there and having a good look today at number 7, Joseph Egan, still at school, Casuarina Senior College, played in the Australian A schoolboys last year, and this is a really good opportunity for him to show at a good standard of football.
Well, Carl Jones is the coach of the visiting team, and Tammy Devine spoke with him a little earlier.
Carl, it's the 3rd time that Adelaide's played up here in the Territory. What have you put in place to cope with the weather conditions, which are a little bit different to a southern winter?
Oh yeah, but to be perfectly honest, first 2 rounds of our rugby were 37 degrees and 35 degrees in the first 2 rounds. That was 8 weeks ago, so the lads have plenty of preparation there. Also, it's a fitter squad than normal. We're not carrying our 120 kilo second row. We've actually got a very fit second row, so we're happy that way, but our physio's done a lot of research on hydration and cooling the core temperature down at half-time and what have you, and obviously spending the minimum amount of time out in the sun at half-time and pre-game. So.
Now, around half of the points that Adelaide have scored so far in the competition have come off the boot of Wayne Londimer. Now, we'll be keeping an eye on him during the game. Which other players should viewers be looking out for?
We've got a cheeky little scrum half at the moment. Troy Doughty, he's originally from Adelaide. He's just spent two years playing Colts at Gordon. Yeah, he's a typical cheeky scrum half, and he gets around. He's scored 2 tries up to now, both against New South Wales and last week against Melbourne. So our major point scorer in the try scoring.
Well, the Falcons have given us a team list. Not sure if they'll line up like this, Brian Anderson, but what do we see in there that catches our attention?
Well, a very good player for the Black Falcons there is Tim Loft, number 11 on the wing. I think this is his 3rd trip to Darwin in the Australian Rugby Shield, a very, very good finisher.
Well, the game just getting underway here. We've had a minute's silence and an infringement, Brian Anderson, right from the start.
Well, that's a good start for the Mosquitoes. They will have the ball in hand and in a position to attack the Black Falcons line. We just had a minute's silence before the game for a former Mosquito, Don Moody, who tragically passed away a fortnight ago.
Sad moment for rugby followers across the Northern Territory. We'll get down to Tammy Devine in just a moment. Referee, not happy with things there in that early scrum. Just wait for this feed. Ball here with the Mosquitoes. They need some penetration earlier on, so they go backwards with the pass here, and it comes out into the hands there of Tommy Hurst. Seen him for a long way. Bit of a drive up towards halfway. Mosquitoes looking as though they're switched on. Good signs early in the match when they run hard and back each other up. It's always a good sign from them.
It is a good sign. That shows they're in a positive frame of mind. They're keen to get on with the game. They have lost the ball there. It's going to be a scrum feed to the Black Falcons.
Quickly get down to Tammy Devine. Tammy, give us the weather down there.
Well, we've got a beautiful dry season day, 31 degrees and less than 30% humidity. No real breeze to speak of, but the 5 knots are coming at the back of the Mozzies in this first half.
Thank you, Tammy. We'll be checking in with Tammy Devine throughout this match. It's round 4 of the Australian Rugby Shield. The Mosquitoes running off to left of screen, and the visiting Adelaide Black Falcons here. No one getting any ascendancy early on. Here is the first good kick from the Falcons, driving kick, and the Mosquitoes have to run back a long way there. Their fullback down there, Bernheim, he's a good player.
He's a very good player, very versatile player, can play most positions in the back line. That's young Norris has been wrapped up there and has lost the ball. Got himself isolated. He needs to communicate a little bit more with the back three.
The Falcons go in there quickly for a share of this. Touch judge flag is up.
So Black Falcons taking the ball into touch there, so it'll be a Mosquito throw up the line out.
So good, fairly good crowd on hand here, Brian. It's not too bad, is it, for this match on a day when Darwinians go out and do fishing and all sorts of other things?
Well, Saturday is a big fishing day, but well, when the Australian Rugby Shield comes down, it's worth leaving the rod in the cupboard.
Here's the high kick up, just short of halfway, and reaching over the side there was Takuna, and he just couldn't get his hands on it enough to hold the ball in the field of play. So the line out here just short of halfway, and Falcons defeat it. Richard Waisley it is, goes to the back of the line out. Run around player there is Doherty, up over halfway. Feeling each other out in the early stages of the match, you'd expect that.
Oh, they are. They want to play fairly much percentage football early, not give away penalties and not take too many chances.
Brown did well to pick that ball up right at his bootlaces, goes downfield. Here's the kick coming back. Bernheim's good driving kick, gets it back behind the players. That's a fantastic kick.
That's a sensational kick. It brings play to within about 10 metres of the Black Falcons line.
It's a good kick, and that's a good position to be in the early stages.
It is. Adelaide will have the throw from this line out. Very important for the Mosquitoes to attack it, try and spoil the ball, and not let Adelaide mount any attack.
See what they can do with this deep into Adelaide territory. Ball into the line out, front position down there was Connor. See if they can get out of the danger area here. I can see the hand there going up quickly of Tommy Hurst. He's saying where he thinks this ball's going to go. His opposite number there. That was Londemar with a kick. Did pretty well. Bouncing kick, gets over halfway. Mosquitoes get back, but the ball went over. So it was a good kick in the end.
It was a very good kick. He's kicked that from inside his own try line to over halfway. So again, getting the pressure off themselves.
These line-outs, anything you can read into it in the early stages?
Well, neither the defensive teams are really attacking and spoiling, getting the 4 line-outs that we've seen. But talking to Tony Bundock and Tim Heath, the manager of the Mosquitoes, it's something it's let themselves down in the 3 games they've played so far. Their line-outs haven't been as good as they should be.
All right, so just over halfway here. No real advantage early on in the match. Both sides have been down reasonably deep. Here we go. See, that the ball that should have been held, getting across there quickly though, was Londemar. Expect big things from him today. We've heard plenty about him.
He's a player with big raps on him. But one thing I have noticed, the service to him from the halfback, Doherty isn't coming to him very cleanly. It's not coming straight to his chest to give him the time to move with it.
I can tell you the referee in charge of this match. He's from South Africa. He lives in Queensland at the moment. Kali Prenslua. He tried to tell me how to pronounce that like a South African, but it's something like Prenslua.
Well, he's a fairly robust sort of fellow. I think he's probably played a little bit as a young fellow. I think he would have been quite a powerful loose forward looking at that the build of him.
Only his second game though at the Shield level as a referee. He's been in Australia a couple of years from South Africa, from just out of Johannesburg. Lives in Queensland, as I said. Here we are, the Adelaide Black Falcons now. That's a good drive from them. Up just short of halfway. And again, they go back to that man there, Londemar. He's kicked, parked underneath at the fullback. Got his hands on it, should have controlled it. He didn't. Bernheim will go back, see if he can put a little bit of interest on this. Bouncing kick was dangerous, but they've done pretty well, the Falcons. Let's see what they can build from here. They run just short of halfway, goes with the pass into the hands there of Takuna. 10 metres short. Running in quickly is Doherty. Ball on the ground. Doherty's pass. Goes it out wide through the hands of Brown. Brown goes out a little further. That's Reikawasu. And now the run. The bust out there is Connor. Connor gets up deep into territory there. Loft gets away. Try coming up for the Falcons. Try early in the match. They got through a little too easily. They score the first try of the match.
It was it was a good try, but it was a fairly soft try, Charlie. The Mosquitoes found themselves 2 players short out wide. Crowley came in looking for the intercept. It wasn't there, and it was really a fairly easy run to the line. Brad Norris's cover defence wasn't able to stop it, and that's the sort of, we see the play going there. Norris coming across to try and make the tackle. It's just turned back inside. Too many numbers there for the Black Falcons, and it's a relatively easy try.
He did the little goose step there for a while too. He was confronted by John Sullivan. Have a look at this. You'll just see it. There it is.
That really annoys the opposition. It's you sometimes get a bit of a serve after you do something like that. But not a good start for the Mosquitoes. That's Tony Bundock, the coach, won't be happy with it. It is something they talked about at training, making sure they numbered up.
Yep.
We saw just a short time ago the Mosquitoes backline. They're pointing to the opposition playing, so that's my man, that's my man. They fell apart then, they didn't do it, and they were too short out wide.
Relatively easy kick here for Wayne Londemar. You can see it. He's probably about 3 or 4 metres off dead centre. He's a left footer. Kicks very high. They're happy. Flags go up. Extra points added.
So that takes the Black Falcons out to a 7-0 lead over the Mosquitoes. Here's the little goose step again. Must be a David Campuzzi fan.
Campisi didn't do it when he was over the try line, though, did he? He did it when he was running down the sideline.
At pace.
Yeah, at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Well, pressure will stay with the Mosquitoes here. Short restart. Parked underneath, he's got his hands up. There was Connor, the try scorer. In fact, the man that helped set up the try. Scooping the ball backward. That was interesting. This man busy. Takuna already gets into some space. That was a great unload. Terrific play. Might have gone forward. That was a good unload, wasn't it?
It was very good, and it shows that the Black Falcons are keen as well, supporting players. Just the winger Takuna, he's a huge man. He bumped straight off Norris there and found the support inside. And quite fortuitously for the Mosquitoes, that pass judged forward.
Brian, they're playing with a little bit of flair. The Falcons already, you can see that.
Oh, they are. They're quite keen to put the ball around. Now that's a tight head there. That's not a good start.
Here's the try scorer. That's Loff again out wide. Gets to halfway and gets over. Confronted. A couple of Mosquitoes get to him. Sullivan's in there, I can see. Also across there is Kinnaird.
Last feet 30. Go back 10, please. Last feet.
So Tom Hurst there, not behind the ruck. He's got to be behind the last feet of the player in the ruck. He wasn't. He was offside. And so Mosquitoes conceding a tight head scrum and now a penalty. Is going to put the Black Falcons right in a position to attack again. That's not the start the Mosquitoes would have wanted.
No, under siege in the first 10 minutes of this match. Just not what they wanted. And that try that was scored a little earlier on was just a little too easily. If you've just joined us, Tim Loff running in a try for the Falcons. Matthew Connor, sorry. He's got the...
Off an inside pass from Tim Loff.
Yes, Tim Loff gave the pass, but it was a good try, wasn't it?
Very good try. And here's this fellow again. He's going to go straight through.
That is easy. How easy is that? Oh, worrying signs for the Mosquitoes. What do you make of all that? That was easy. That was a stroll down the middle of the mall on a Sunday morning.
Well, he's a big man. Takuna. It would have taken probably 2 or 3 Mosquitoes to stop him there. Peter Bernheim is a good defender, but there he is head on. You just pushed away. No chance. And Norris's cover again unable to bring him down. He's a big man. Looks more like a front row forward, but playing out on the wing.
Well, that's ordinary defence. And they've done some work, the Mosquitoes, on their defence. They're having a chat down there now behind the try line. They're talking about this. Their defence they've talked about throughout the week, saying they need to be tight not give away too much advantage to the opposition, but they've been carved up here in the early stages of the match. 2 soft tries.
Well, it isn't, and what's frustrating about that try there, Charlie, it all came from not winning their own ball at a scrum on halfway.
Yep.
And giving possession, hard-earned possession to the Black Falcons, who certainly can score tries. I mean, they only lost to Perth 38-23. Here's a replay of the try again. Does a little bit of a, they call it a Maori sidestep. You just shake your head and go straight through the man, and that's what he did there. But the Black Falcons, they scored 23 points against Perth Gold to lose their match 38-23. And this should be this rule a knock-on off Joseph Egan there. I would have thought he's knocked that back, and it's come off a Black Falcon and into touch.
Well, that's what it looked like from here. He said he ran hard to get himself into position, got both hands on it, knocked it back into the field of play. Seemed to come off a Falcon. But feed here with the Falcons doing all of the attacking here and worrying the scoreboard attendant by themselves. That's a good effort reaching back there to take it was Norris. Links up with the fullback. Bernheim goes with the kick. Oh, he got that and dropped it.
Real knock back, which it was. But here's now counter-attacking is the Black Falcons.
That's their fullback too, making a charge forward there, Farquharson. They're very switched on. You can see that easy step around there. That's
and they've got a 2-man overlap again.
Sprinting away. That's the man that was involved a little earlier on. That's Tim Loft.
And he should have definitely looked to go wide. He had 2 men outside him. 2 men on facing Norris.
He kept angling back in, didn't he? Got to have better vision.
And lost the ball. So it's a lucky break there for the Mosquitoes. Take play inside the Black Falcons half.
Well, a bit of luck there for the Mosquitoes. Conceding 1 try, you can worry. Concede 2, you worry more. Concede 3, you don't know where to go.
Well, concede 3 and the game risks slipping out of your grasp. They need to get back into it. The Mosquitoes, they need to be the next scorer. That tackle on Tim Luff has hurt him. He's receiving some treatment in the background.
They'll get plenty of water out there to these players. They tried to come to an agreement, Brian, between both teams to have a drink stop somewhere halfway through the first half, but in the end they decided they wouldn't do it. They'll just get water out there whenever they could in injury stoppages.
Well, they would. Tony Bundock was concerned, the Mosquitoes coach Tony Bundock was concerned that Adelaide might try to use that to slow the game down. Darwin want to keep this game as fast as they can. They are probably the fittest team in the competition, so they want to make sure their opposition suffer in the heat.
Might be able to go down to Tammy, get a report on that injury. Tammy Devine.
Well, Adelaide definitely won't be wanting to lose Tim Luff. He's played for the Reds in the past and the Australian Sevens, so actually probably quicker than the wing we've got here on number 14. So they definitely don't want Tim to go down.
Yes, he played for the Queensland Reds. That's some credentials there.
That's certainly a high standard of football to be able to make the Queensland side.
They are getting back deep and they're running onto this ball, and it's worrying the Mosquitoes. They're standing there waiting and they're easily being stepped, and that's a problem for them. They really must move this line, I think, in defence. Here caught, Mosquitoes have the ball back, I think. They've pinched it, they have.
Penalty coming here to the Mosquitoes. The Black Falcons defence offside there.
Craig Moore in there working. He's playing the advantage up over halfway. Good tackling. Going to ground there was Davis.
So there's a frightening statistic on the screen at the moment there, Charlie. The Black Falcons have had 79% of possession, the Mosquitoes 21. So we come back to that penalty.
We'll have some ball now.
Charles Shepherd, the man ruled offside.
Rob Davis, number 10, has got the ball there next to the referee.
And he's got big Mosquito shoes to fill. Rob Davis taking over from Chris Shirley, who retired from rugby last year.
Did he go off and play some rugby league or something? Or
I believe he's done something horrible like that.
Is that the unforgivable?
It is. But a great kick, all the same, and it's brought play down to 5 metres out. Important for the Mosquitoes to win this and set up a platform to score. Joseph Egan throwing it in.
Just quickly on Chris Shirley, and most viewers who have seen Rugby Shield matches over the years would know him as one of our top players up here. Here's a push close to the line, Mosquitoes looking for an early score. They might be over here. Wait on the ref. Certainly across the line.
It's a try, as the referees call, and that was a good drive from the line out. It's something that the Mosquitoes have practiced hard. Looks like that was Captain
Benny
Ben
Emmett
Emmett has got that one. Now that should be just the sort of spark that the Mosquitoes need to really strike back again now.
Gee, if we'll just watch this try. You see, there's Emmett will be amongst all of that. He loves getting in there, doesn't he?
So just driving them all through. The scrum is it's been a feature of the Mosquitoes game, and the referee comes around, has a look, sees that it's grounded.
Under there is the
That's a
Mosquito skipper, the ball in his hand. There he is. One of our great territory sportsmen. Great leader for this team. Worked well in with Tony Bundock. They've done a lot to advance the fortunes of the Mosquitoes over the last couple of years.
Oh, he has. He's got a very professional attitude to playing the game, and he instills that or demands it from his teammates. He's a very, very good captain.
Davis, chance here for the extras. Tough kick for him. Probably 8 or 9 metres in from the sideline. See how he kicks it. Starts it out to the right, starts to move back, misses.
But certainly the Mozzies back in the game now at 14 points to 5. Now the Black Falcons seem to be targeting the Mosquitoes midfield, the area where the centres are. Having viewed some footage, determined that's a weakness. The coach Carl Jones.
What to make of Doherty's kick? Daniel Mayo got underneath it, went to ground and lost it.
Ran around in circles before he lost it forward. That's costly. That turns over the ball to the Black Falcons.
So support needs to get there much quicker.
Oh, and communication. Like he's caught the ball and he's just turned around in circles. Someone should have said, Dan, run straight, or you're not going to get smashed. There's no one coming in on you. You've got time. Or call for the ball to be passed. That was great work by Craig Moore to get round there and stop the play.
Here's the fullback, Farquharson, takes them on, beats one, confronted again, caught in a tackle, tried to drag him towards the sideline. Now they do. Some vigour from the Mosquitoes, and they needed it. He held onto the ball, though, and they drove him over the sideline.
And a missed tackle there by Davis, the number 10 for the Mosquitoes, so that's something they can't afford to do. They're fortunate the cover defence was able to bundle him into touch.
Egan's ball into the line out. Loose ball here bouncing. Back quickly for it was Scaturcio. It's a risky pass to go back. Hurried kick. Parked underneath it. Did well to take it too was Takuna. Scored a try.
He's kicked it to the last bloke you'd want to kick it to.
Runs hard to halfway. They monster him. They got there, 4 or 5 of them. Mosquitoes.
No obstruction. No obstruction.
Pushing from the back there was Tedge, number 1. This man's been busy, Doherty, hasn't he? Number 9.
He's a player that was pinpointed by the coach, Carl Jones, in the pre-match as being a player of quality. His younger brother Tyson Doherty plays for Casuarina up here in the local competition and is a member of the Northern Territory Institute of Sport.